Yeah. It's about time I had you on my channel.
I'm excited to be here.
I know. I'm excited that we are doing this conversation. Oh
Me
my
too,
gosh.
me too. It's been years. Remember
Yeah.
meeting you out in Edmonton and
Yes.
sharing some fruit luck action and some pizza and all the graciousness back and forth from then. It's awesome.
Oh, it's been awesome. So we finally got a moment to do this video.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Thank you, Chris. So as you guys probably know,
Maybe.
and if you don't, you have to follow Chris because I consider him the pizza king, raw pizza king.
I'm the pizza king.
Yes, you
I can do anything.
Yes, you can. So please tell everybody where we can find you first before we get talking.
Well, my name is Chris Kendall from therawadvantage.com. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, raw food lifestyle coach, and raw chef. You can find me at The Raw Advantage anywhere and everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, all that fun stuff. But most of the stuff I pour out is through my website or funnels in there at least.
Yeah, exactly. So go follow him.
Thank
Now we will chat about recipes because you and I have a lot of recipes.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I feel like from all of the presenters, you and I tend to have the most.
I feel like we're spearheading the raw vegan recipe kind of motion out there, like spreading it all out, making this extra tasty delicious, trying to anyway. I mean, Mother Nature does it perfect. I gotta say that right in the forefront. She is the best chef out there. We're just using her magic and mixing it up and having fun with it, right? Making it easier for people to emulate old favorites and recreate new ones.
Yes, exactly. I know, and I feel, and I'm sure you can agree, that it's kind of like part of our mission is to be able to, create these beautiful dishes so that we can help you guys change over. Now,
help ourselves too.
And ourselves too.
I like pizzas and burgers and fun other stuff and ramen. Have you had her ramen? It's pretty freaking ramen.
Have
used
you
to be
had his cocoa butter veggies?
You guys should. Maybe by the time this is out, the new recipe video will be up on that one.
Are you doing one?
I'm doing one. I'm doing it on the one that I did here. So the special extra healthy omega-3 cocoa butter veggies re-edition.
Oh my goodness.
I'm excited to share that one for sure.
I'm excited for you to share it too because it's legit. Like one of the best.
Oh, like I said too, ramen used to be my all-time favorite recipe. Like when I was. It's funny, when I was in my ghetto days before raw food and out of my parents' house when I was just eating kind of poor, I ate ramen all the time, or otherwise it was Mr. Noodle or Sapporo Ichiban, and it's like I love it. I won't lie. If I could eat one cooked food, not that I can't, of course, but if I
choose to,
if I chose to eat a cooked food that was simple, quick, and made me feel as good as raw food, it'd actually be ramen. But now I tasted yours, and it's like. Whatever ramen.
Yeah, right? I know.
It's ramen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ramen, yes. That's awesome. So how do you feel about how we create the recipes? Because I feel like there's two target markets. We've got the raw vegans, who anyone out there who are already raw. We cater to them. But I feel, for me, that I'm trying to cater to the 97%, the rest of the population who aren't necessarily already raw. So
100%.
Yeah, because like you said, you were natural hygiene for the first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Could you
expand
on that?
All right. Well, natural hygiene comes from the root hygeia, and it's the science of health. And there are many different variations. Some eat animal products, some don't, and it's changed over the years. But the basis of what we're talking about in terms of natural hygiene is food that you would serve a baby, that you would serve the elderly or people that have digestive issues, food that you could mash into your skin or at least put on your skin and not cause irritation in your eye and not go crazy and get all red eye. So basically fresh fruits and raw vegetables. The first 5 years I was on this lifestyle, I didn't eat an onion or a garlic or a hot pepper. And the first time I did, I thought I was a naughty boy, But now I just don't mind being naughty sometimes and having some. And I'm not really naughty. I'm just, having fun with it and enjoying it. And it's all delicious food that serves me and my bigger purpose in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit more strict, and I saw those things as rules. And now I see them as tools for optimal health. So sometimes I include them, sometimes I bend them. I know all of it, so I know, I won't say I know all of it, but I know a lot, and I know enough to find my middle ground, what I enjoy, and then I want to serve that out to other people to make it easier, not only for them, but also maybe you want to invite a friend over, or maybe you're someone who is going over to a raw foodist house and you don't know what to make. Well, you can surprise them with one of our recipes, and it's delicious and everyone will enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
And then it ushers them in, because not everyone just wants to eat banana smoothies every day, all day.
Yeah. Some do.
Yeah, some do, and I love it.
I know, yeah.
Sure.
Me too.
I don't mind a pizza or some ramen sometimes, you know?
Right.
Why not?
So, I'm assuming that your favorite recipe is the cocoa butter veggies.
You know what, truthfully, I could eat that like 3-4 times a week, 5 times. I've eaten it more sometimes, and when I get home, I'll be making it for sure. I absolutely love it, and it uses some ingredients that aren't super common in a lot of raw foodist diets, but I really truly find them invaluable, and I think they are a really valuable addition in terms of nutrition, and in terms of satiation, and in terms of variety. So that's
what
why.
would be some of those examples of ingredients?
So cauliflower, you know, they're cruciferous. They're really, really high in a bunch of different minerals and compounds that aren't in a lot of other stuff, or at least not in the same quantities, right? There's also mushrooms in there, which some people love, some people don't, but until you've had them in the way that I prepare them in the recipe, you don't know. I've served them to many hygienists and other people who eat raw food for a long time who don't eat mushrooms, and when they have them, like, I like them when you serve them, but otherwise I don't. And you know, you just gotta let through the tips. But mushrooms, you know, they have vitamin D, and you can charge them up and increase the vitamin D. They also have higher levels of chromium, which isn't available in the same amounts in a lot of other foods, you know. So yeah, and you can find them organic and cheap in a lot of places. But I just love those, and I just enjoy adding them to my lifestyle.
I like a whole bag of mushrooms.
Yeah,
it's like,
they're good.
I'll eat them all. Really quick on that topic, because I know a lot of people were probably going to comment and ask about the toxins that they hear in mushrooms.
That's really great.
I wanted you to just quickly...
You know, that's a subject I've researched a lot, and I've even went to some popular vegan doctors' pages where they have references for the studies showing like why they don't recommend eating raw mushrooms. And there is 2 things. So I'll start with the first one. It's argentine, or I might not be pronouncing that right, but argentine. It's a substance found in mushrooms that in high enough doses has been shown to bring some toxicity to mice. Mice and rats. So that's it. The studies, they're done on mice and rats. One, we're not mice and rats, and some things don't completely follow suit. And the 2 studies I've read, one of them, it's given to rats in a high enough dose that's essentially a day's worth for the entire year, given in one synthetic dose strictly of argentine. So it's like, it's not like a whole mushroom, it's actually like just the concentrated form of that, concentrated into one dose that would have been a year's worth, right?
Yeah, that's like eating 300 bananas in 30 seconds to get the
You have too much potassium, right? And I mean, even greens, they have compounds in them that are for partially the reason why we want to rotate greens, because they start to accumulate in our body. And if we were to eat like a year's worth in one sitting, we'd have poor reactions as well. So I don't find them, you know, that to be a valid study. Beyond that, also it's mega doses in the other studies, and also isolates, which I don't find valid, especially when it's also rats, mega doses and isolates.
And they're this big.
Yeah, they're little guys. and the other thing about it too is it's been shown that, you know, transportation and time picked, and even sun exposure and dehydration, they all reduce that, right? I mean, they're self-delimiting as well, so it's not like you're going to eat like as many pounds of mushrooms as you would bananas. And by the time you get to the point where you don't enjoy them anymore, just let them go, and you're in a very safe, healthy range. And you know, a lot of times people focus on one thing and they forget the bigger picture of it, right? The other reason people sometimes issue mushrooms is because they are grown in dew, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. So there's the potential of bacteria. Now, I like to sun my mushrooms if I can, or otherwise put them under an ultraviolet or UVB light. And that is very antibacterial, so that kind of negates that problem. Plus, there can be the perspective that sometimes some stuff can actually help your immune system, right? Not just being totally sterile. I have a very strong, healthy immune system, and I actually owe it partially to eating a wide variety of things and not being super, super finicky about everything. If someone's really immune compromised, then they want to probably make sure they put it under a UVB light or in the ultraviolet to kill that off, right? Otherwise, people say that you can't digest them well. Well, if you swallow it whole, like, you can't digest cellulose, you can't digest broccoli if you don't. So if you chew it really well, you're still going to get definitely a lot of the nutrition out of it. Not all of it, and not maybe quite as much if you cook it, but still you're going to get a bunch. And I just love the heck out of them. They're so damn good, and I feel so great. Like, they have that vitamin D, which in the winter time,
especially for us, from Canada.
Canada, like, you know, I put it under that UV light for like, you know, 6 hours, it boosts it up, and then my serving of mushrooms is like a vitamin D2 supplement. So I love them.
Awesome. Love it. One last question.
Yeah.
How do you come up with your recipes? Like, what's your inspiration?
You know, seriously, it's just channeled to me. It's just the divine. It just comes in. You know, it is kind of true, but a lot of the times too, like I'll just think of my old favorites, and I'll think, okay, well, what are the main flavors? You know, and I know the secrets of flavor pairing, right? So you want to look at the 5 predominant flavors. So we're looking at sweet, sour. Come on, say it with me. Salty. Oh, and then bitter. And what's the last one?
Sweet.
Sour. Salty. Bitter.
Oh, umami.
Umami. It's all about that umami, you know. And there's a, you know, if you know those flavors and you know what raw foods replace those, and you look at a recipe and you go, okay, well, this is a sweet predominant recipe, but there's usually at least 3 other complementary flavors, if not the other 4, to make it really pop. If you only have 2 flavors, it seems a little bit unbalanced. So you look at the recipe, you look at the predominant flavors, and then you substitute them for raw ingredients, and then pow, seriously, it comes together. Then it's just play. You know, it's just playing with it, knowing that every single ingredient is going to taste a little bit different, and knowing that every recipe will taste a little bit different, and accepting that, and then just, you know, mentally logging or writing it down if you're smarter than me, and you know, getting it all together so that you can recreate it. But a lot of times I don't write it down because I know every time it's going to be different, and I just play with it a dozen times until I then write it down based on the 11 times I've done it.
Yeah, and you're like, this is a good one.
This is the
one that has to,
But I always have the ultimate raw food disclaimer, just saying, like, every single piece of fruit and vegetable tastes different, has different water content. So be alive with your recipe, play with the recipe, and if you taste it and it tastes like bunk, then do something, play with it, add something different. If you have crappy tomatoes and crappy mangoes, I'm sorry, mango tomato dressing isn't going to be good. But if it's good mangoes, good tomatoes, it's going to be amazing. And if they're the best mangoes you've ever had, then don't even bother, just eat them. You know?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
For sharing all of that.
If I may mention, I will say,
please.
you know, I have a book called Naturally Rawsome Sauces, and the entire purpose of that book is to turn you into a sauce master, because you know it's all about the sauce.
Yeah,
and if you know those tips that I said and a whole bunch more, it makes it 1,000 times easier to make whatever you're eating, even if it's just packaged peanuts, which I don't recommend, taste really good. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So go get his stuff because he's awesome. Check out his website, go to his YouTube channel, and watch it all. And thank you again.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. So
Thanks,
we're gonna
guys.
go enjoy the talent night tonight
UK Fruit
here
Fest,
at the
fun.
UK Fruit Fest.
Loving
So
it.
hope to see you guys at the next one. And until then, fruit on!
Do you ask anything, or do I just say it?
No, I'm gonna
Okay.
kind of put them in like with the slow-mo video.
Yeah.
So it's like just tips in here. So.
Okay, and I don't have to say like my top tip. Just be like,
Yeah, just
go for it?
Yeah.
okay. So just go. Okay. Fresh fruits and vegetables are Mother Nature's. The fresh fruits and vegetables are Mother Nature's love, and just through simply providing yourself with other stuff and things, then you're gonna do good. It's good.
Okay.
It's fresh fruits and vegetables. Through doing that, everything else will come to the surface, and you'll only grow through all the changes. It's just so ridiculous. I don't even know what I'm saying.
What was the first one?
I don't even know.
Top tip for newbies.
All right.
Your top tip. What's your top tip for newbies?
Raw fruits and vegetables. My top tip is that raw fruits and vegetables are Mother Nature's. I can't even say this properly. It's really funny. My top tip is to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, which are Mother Nature's love, bringing in all the pranas together to help you rise up to your highest heights.
Excellent.